inviting these media friends, and thank you all for coming. I called this press conference today to tell Ugandans, to tell other people around the world, hoping that you can actually get a message through Uganda to the rest of the world, to those who care about Dr. Kizza Besigye, that he is not well, that he's ill, and I'm very concerned about his health. Last Monday, the prison was closed to visitors. We were taken by surprise. I requested, and they said it would last a week because of elections. I asked whether I could take them some food because they were not ready with this order not to be visited for a week. I think I should explain that visitors are allowed on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at Luzira Upper Prison. And that is so because the prison is over congested. It has like 4 or 5 times more prisoners than it should have. They are not able to look after them. So most prisoners, their families bring them food and they cook for themselves. They don't allow in any way of, there's no refrigerator, nothing. Only raw food is brought. So you keep bringing. You bring one matoke, you come back after 2 days, you bring another, you bring beans, you bring... There's no facilities for storing for a couple of days. Those are the conditions. So on Tuesday, I was allowed to send their food, but not to see him. So his sister Margaret delivered food on Tuesday. And we didn't see him until this Monday, yesterday. I went to see him and found him very ill. And he told me that he had been ill since Saturday. He had acute stomach pain and his temperature was high. And he was severely dehydrated. He had refused to be treated by the prison authorities, his captors, and was insisting on being seen by his own doctor. It wasn't until his personal doctor, Dr. Nandi Kanyerezi, God bless her, went there, pleaded with the prison authorities to allow her to have him at her clinic to be examined, because she said there was nothing there at the prison, not enough that he could use to examine him. They did not allow this until quite late in the evening. They waited for darkness and they brought him to Dr. Nandi's clinic in Bugolobi. I found out, I was not notified by the prison authorities, I am his next of kin. I found out in some way and rushed there. I found him there, and the doctors had taken many tests, which they will find out in due course what the results give. They had done examinations and they had decided to put him on a drip and administer an antibiotic and rehydration. An antibiotic because they said with somebody in prison, they can't wait for the results of the tests because he could go back and get worse. So they decided to be preemptive. So his sister and I were there at the clinic while he was being treated. He after receiving 2.5 bottles of water in his body, he still wasn't passing urine, and the doctor said he was severely dehydrated and asked for him to remain on hydration. The prison authorities took him back to prison at night. In taking him back, I asked the doctor what was going to happen next. She said she wanted to review him today. I asked the authorities, the prison officers there, will you bring him back to the clinic today? And they said they don't know. That's a decision from above. Dr. Besigye doesn't have a right to see his personal doctor. This is decided from above, and it's a long negotiation. I want to thank very much Dr. Nandi. This is the second time she has negotiated with them to have him brought to her clinic to be thoroughly examined. It's not a right. In fact, the prison authorities told me that if I talk about him being taken to the clinic, that they may not allow him again to see his personal doctor. What an outrage. What is that? No. On the other side. Okay, so then I followed the prison officials as they escorted him to their cars. I must say that when Dr. Besigye arrived at the clinic, I am told, I learned this from the medical people, that he wasn't even in a position to stand up straight, that he was shaking, he told me himself, and unable to walk without support. By the time he left, after being treated, he was walking, but you could see that with difficulty. 6 prison warders were surrounding him, and they marched him down the stairs from the 2nd floor. I followed them up to the basement. Their cars were waiting for him at the basement. They bundled him in their pickup truck, one warder on one side, the other on the other side, him squeezed in the middle, and drove off. What was of grave concern to me was that all along at the clinic, I arrived, I had found there a woman who was dressed in civilian clothes, very strange clothes. She had a tambala over her head, dressed like the way a Muslim woman would wear her, not hijab, her veil. But she wasn't wearing it properly like a Muslim woman would. So she looked funny with a big white tambala on her head. I thought she looked curious. When the warders were taking Dr. Besigye, she followed them. So I also followed her. When we got to the basement, I got near her to ask her who she was, and she started to run. There was another car that was waiting for her. She feared to enter it and ran to another corner. I managed to take a picture of her back, and she pulled off her tambara. These are the military intelligence people who are holding Dr. Besigye. I'm here to tell you that Dr. Besigye isn't a prisoner held by the prison authorities. No. He is a captive of Mr. Museveni and his son, the army commander. They are the ones holding him. They have their own military people in that prison who guard Dr. Besigye. He is a captive. He is not like any prisoner who has committed a crime and is being held there by the prison warders. He has always been held by Mr. Museveni and his son. The courts are also, the prison is a front for holding Dr. Besigye. But the people holding Dr. Besigye are Museveni and his son. The courts are just the place where they want him convicted, but they control them. He controls the courts and he wants him convicted so that he can continue to hold him in the prison, held by military men, and he wants to kill him. He wants Besigye to die in prison. Why is it that in this week when they shut the prison, that is the week when he falls sick? Why is it that they want to bring him? They refuse him to see his personal doctor in the first place. At her insistence, they bring him secretly. They do not inform me, his next of kin. And they threaten me not to talk about it to the public. He's a leader. He's a public figure. He's a leader of the opposition. Why wouldn't they tell the public that Dr. Besigye is not well and we have taken steps to have him treated? It is sinister. It's a sinister plot. And I'm here to say to Mr. Museveni, enough is enough. Stop holding Besigye as your captive. Stop opposing his bail application. Drop that charge of treason against him. This is not the first time. 20 years ago, he was framed with treason. That was dismissed by the courts. Now, Museveni is back saying that Besigye wants to kill him. And we are going to see in court once again a lot of lies and fabrications being presented there, this time with a judge who is under instructions to convict him. I want to thank Mayor Elias Lukwago and the amazing team of lawyers who have fought by his side. What they are doing is to expose Museveni before the world and to show that this is not a trial. This is persecution of an opposition leader, criminalization of an opposition leader. There is no truth in it, no law in it, no justice in it. And they have done an excellent job to expose that. From day one, when he went to the military, when they dragged him before the court-martial, when he was not a soldier, to when they held him without